One of the most common questions that I get inside my Facebook group is, how do I start a Facebook ad campaign from scratch and get good results? That's what I'm going to cover in today's video in 10 minutes or less. So let's get into it. Hey, I'm Rod. I'm the founder of Rod Land Agency. We help people create, manage, optimize, and do better with Facebook and Instagram advertising. And in today's video, I'm going to show you the exact formula that we use for our e-commerce clients, whether they're small clients that are only spending $100 a day or larger ones that are spending $700 a day. We use this same formula regardless. So I'm going to take you through everything that you need to do, from the way the campaign's structured, the ad sets, the targeting, the ads, the creative, the whole shebang in less than 10 minutes. Now, before you get carried away thinking that I'm about to impart to a formula which is guaranteed to give us successful ads no matter what, there's a couple of caveats. The first one is that you're actually making sales through your website. If you plan to make your first sale using an ad, I really recommend against that. If you can make sales through organic means first, then at least it'll prove that your product is viable. Secondly, if your website conversion rate is something less than 1.5%, then it's going to be very hard for you to run ads profitably. I'm not saying it's going to be impossible, but in my experience, the lower that your conversion rate is for your website, the more that you've got to spend on ads to be able to generate a sale. The third thing is you already need to have a Facebook Business Manager set up. You need to have an ad account set up. If you haven't got any of those things ready, then there'll be some links to videos in the description where you can learn how to do that. So let's jump on the computer and get started. So the page I'm on here is the Ad Manager for one of our clients, and this uses the exact same structure and setup that I'm going to explain to you now. And you can see over the maximum time period from April 28th of last year, we've had a return on ad spend of 5.22, about a $25 cost per purchase. If you look at the last 30 days, that's 4.78 or $28. If you look at the last 14 days, our return on ad spend 7.48, $18 cost per purchase. It's been a consistently performing campaign. We have rotated in different creative as time has gone along, but essentially the structure that we initially set up is still working 8 months later. There's a couple of other infrastructure items that you want to make sure that you've taken care of, which is installing the Facebook Pixel on your website, configuring the Conversions API, make sure that the domain is verified, and make sure that you have your web events configured. I have videos that explain how to do all of those things, and there'll be a link to those in the video description. So let's move on to audiences. The best audiences still today, in my experience, are those that are a lookalike that is based on your previous customers. And the larger that source audience is, the better that the lookalike audience is that Facebook can create. Where people sometimes run into trouble is that their source audience doesn't have very many people in it, like less than 100. And that can mean that the lookalike audience isn't as effective as an interest-based audience. There's a couple of things I always like to do when it comes to creating a custom audience that's based on previous purchases. You can create an audience that's based on the pixel. So if you go create custom audience and then you say website, then you can use a pixel and you can say last 180 days and you can choose purchase. So if you've already had the pixel installed for a while, you should already have this event logged in your Facebook pixel. So you can create an audience that's based on that. So we can say purchases from pixel 180 days. So that's one way for us to create a custom audience consisting of previous purchases, which is fine, but it will only ever go back 180 days. What I find is better is download them from, say, Shopify, or if your email management system is Klaviyo, then you can simply create a segment of people who have placed an order and then synchronize that audience to your Facebook custom audience. From that, we then want to create a lookalike audience. So I'm not going to explain how to do that here because I've got other videos that explain how to do that. But I usually then make a 3% and a 5% lookalike audience. So as you can see here, I've made a lookalike audience of just people from Australia, 3% of the population. That ends up being about 500,000, 5% ends up being 1 million. So that prepares a lookalike audience and also a custom audience consisting of all your previous purchases. There's a couple of other audiences that are also set up for retargeting. That is website visitors 180 days, Instagram engagers from the last 365 days, and Facebook page and ad engagers from the last 365 days. That is all the custom audiences that you need to get started. Now, if you don't have any data on your pixel or you haven't made any sales, you really need to make sure that you can make sales without ads first before you start doing this. Then you could use audience interests, and how to create a custom audience based on interests is something that I'll cover in another video. So once you've set up your custom audiences, the next thing is to prepare your ads. Now, if you don't know where to start with creating an ad, the best thing to do is to model someone else's that's been successful. And the best tool that I've found to find ads that have worked previously, apart from the ad library itself, is this tool here, which is called Advert Suite. I'll put a link to this in the description. It's not very expensive and it's a lifetime license. I use this tool all the time. Totally worth the money. The link that I put in the description might actually be an affiliate link, but I do use it all the time and appreciate if you do actually purchase it that way. Let's say I'm looking for ads about wedding cakes. The search mode up here is going to be keywords. Keyword type is ad text. I'll put in wedding cake and then I'm going to sort by likes and you just click on search ads. And what that gives you is the most popular ads at the top. See this ad, 59,000 likes, 405 comments, 2,500 shares. So that was a pretty popular ad and they obviously spent a lot of money on it. Chances are that might be one that you can model. Let's see if we can still look up the original ad. So in my view, they do a lot of things wrong, especially with the copy. It's just a wall of text there. However, I think what it illustrates is that a good piece of creative is probably the most important part of the ad when it comes to wedding cakes. Now I want to move on to how to set up and structure the campaign within the Facebook Ads Manager. Once you're in Ads Manager, if you're not already there, just click on the little hamburger icon, click on Ads Manager, click on Create, and we're going to create a conversions campaign. In the name of the campaign, I always put my initials, conversions, CBO because it's campaign budget optimization, and the date. In the ad set, I use this naming convention. So P is for prospecting, C is for custom audience, lookalike, AU 3%, Klaviyo placed order, just so I can identify the targeting that's been used to create this particular ad set. Then I have the date once again. And for the ad name, I use this naming convention. So OP is for original post, image number 1, we'll put the headline in there. Since we're going to be using an example of cakes, the headline is going to be almost too good to eat. And then the date. And then we click on continue. Moving along down the page pretty rapidly, the campaign objective is conversions. You don't need to add anything else to the options there. We're not doing an A/B test. We're going to turn on campaign budgets optimization. And in your daily budget, my suggestion is that you work on the rule of thumb of $35 per ad per day. So if you've got a budget of anything up to $35, then I wouldn't run any more than one ad. If you've got a budget of say $100, then you might want to test 3 different ads. So let's just put in 35. And then in the options here, the campaign bid strategy lowest cost is fine. Click on next. Now, this is in my agency demonstration account. So I don't have some of the conversion events set up here, but I'm going to use the inactive events anyway. So the conversion event that we want to optimize for is going to be purchase. The conversion event location is going to be the website. If you have this message which says verify pixel, you need to go and fix that. If you've got an e-commerce store, because this is the demo account, that's why it's not actually configured. Now in the custom audiences section, we'll just type in look for lookalike. There it is there. The location is defaulted to Australia for me. I'm not going to put in any additional detailed targeting. I'm going to leave automatic placements, optimization and delivery. I'm going to be optimizing for conversions. In the attribution setting, we've got 7 days after clicking, 1 day after viewing, and when we get charged impressions. All of those we're going to leave as the defaults. Then we click on next. Now we're on to the ad section. So we've got our ad name. This is where you want to connect your Facebook page and your Instagram account if you have one. And the ad setup, we're going to go with create ad. Now I'm going to show you how to create the image ad. I would suggest if you have additional budget that you create an image ad, a carousel ad, and a video ad. For more information about how you create those formats, I actually have a PDF, which I'm going to put in the video description below, which you can download. It has all the details about how you set those ads up. But for now, I'm just going to create the image ad only so you can see how it's done. I'm going to turn off dynamic formats in creative and choosing a single image or video. It will automatically select a catalog. So I'm just going to get rid of that so I can add my media in. I've got a cake image that I've already added here previously, so I'm going to select that. Then we go next. Now, as far as the format of the images go, square is the safest option. Ideally, 1080 by 1080 pixels. We're going to leave these all at the original format. Click on done. And then we've got our primary text. So we'll put in a primary text of celebrate that special occasion with a delicious chocolate mud cake. Order yours online today. I also always like to include some emojis in the primary text. The best place for emojis is this one, Emojipedia. So let's just see if there's a cake emoji. Got one that's pretty close. There's a birthday cake. We'll put that in at the start of the primary text. We're going to use a headline of almost too good to eat. And then the description, we'll put order online today. The call to action, we've got shop now. In the website, you want to make sure that your URL is there. In the display link, because the website URL has to have the HTTPS in front of it, you could just put just the URL only without that as the display link. In the tracking, you want to make sure that your pixel is selected there. So you can see I haven't used any different ad creative for the different placements. If you use a square piece of creative, it is going to work in any placement when it comes to image ads. In Instagram stories and other placements, they will add in some additional color because it is a tall format. You are then ready to hit the publish button. So this video doesn't end up being too long. I'm going to finish things up there. So this will give you an ad campaign that has a cold audience in it. You can also create another ad set, which has got your warm audiences in it. And that's it. Hopefully I've been able to edit this down under 10 minutes. I hope it answers the question of how you can get started from scratch with a Facebook ad. That particular format I've used with many e-commerce clients, and as long as their conversion rate is good, it always produces consistently good results, and it doesn't require a whole lot of fiddling. So once you get your ad set up, don't change anything for 7 days. Let data accumulate and then act after that. That's all for this video. If you've found this content useful, please click like and subscribe. I really appreciate that, and I'll see you in the next one.